There isn't much time. We need to get our story straight. Of course not. They can't prove you did anything wrong. Yeah, of course you are. We know what we have to say. We just have to take care of Dan.
Don't worry, everything's going to be just fine. Only we don't have a lot of time before they get here.
I'm not worried.
That's good. There's nothing to worry about. Your mother didn't do anything wrong. Let me explain what happened.
I was here.
Yes, well, your sister is saying certain things, and we all know how difficult she can be sometimes.
Uh-huh.
If anything, your mother has the patience of a saint. I don't know where she gets the strength from. But this time, she'd finally had it. All she was trying to do was let Kate know she'd crossed the line.
Uh-huh.
All your mother did was swat your little sister on her behind. And now it's all this.
Well, it's not like it's Kate's fault.
That child is talking about your mother like she's some sort of wild animal. The only thing wild around here is your sister's imagination.
All Kate did was
What she always does, cause trouble. That's why the rest of us have got to stick together. After all, we're a family, and your mother, well, she's a damn good mother.
All that Kate did was she wanted to stay in her room and do her homework.
Well, certainly, that's what she says now.
She's been saying the same thing all along.
Nonsense. In fact, your mother had her speak with her therapist, and Kate admitted she made up the whole thing.
What other choice did she have? She was afraid.
Afraid? Don't be ridiculous. Your sister is a little liar. All your mother did was try to discipline her. Okay, so she spanked her on the butt.
And why are there bruises all over her body?
There's a perfectly logical explanation for that. Don't you remember last week when your sister fell off her bicycle and scraped her knee?
Yeah, I remember when she scraped her knee.
Well, that's how she got her bruises.
What are you talking about? There ain't many bruises on. What about the bumps on the head?
That's funny, really. All your mother was trying to do was comfort your sister after having been forced to raise her voice a little.
Screamed her head off.
Spank your sister.
Beat my sister.
And when she went to comfort your sister, Kate started to back away from her without looking.
She was bashing Kate's head against the door.
And Kate tripped backwards over the end of the carpet and hit her head on the door behind her. It can all be explained very easily.
Just like always, you keep forgetting I was here and you weren't. I know what happened.
Oh, Danny, how can you possibly know? You weren't even in the room at the time.
Neither were you. But I was here and I heard the whole thing. I didn't need to see it to know what happened.
And your mother was here too. She knows what happened and she wouldn't lie. Were you listening to music at the time? Maybe what you thought you heard wasn't what was really happening. Anyone can make a mistake.
I didn't make a mistake. I know what happened.
How can you be so sure? Tell me how.
Because it's the same thing she always did to me. And you weren't there for me then, just like you aren't here for Kate now. And you weren't home when it happened, just like always. And you have the nerve to come here and tell me what's going on. I know what's going on! You were never there for us.
All right, Danny, that's quite enough. We can choose to live in the past forever, or we can choose to live in the here and now.
We choose to live in the dark.
This is getting us nowhere. I don't buy any of that, and even if I did, none of that is important right now. We can always talk about that some other time. You need to look at the bigger picture, and time is running out. Right now, what you're going to do is...
First you try to convince me of a bunch of crap that isn't true, now you think you can just tell me what to do?
And you're going to do what I tell you to do. Child services will be here any minute. You've got to get that through your head and do what needs to be done. Have you even stopped to think about what would happen if you backed up what Kate is saying? Do you know the kind of damage that would do? It's bad enough she's letting her imagination run wild. You can't be doing the same thing.
I'm not.
It would ruin this family and there would be no turning back. It would destroy your mother. You have to think about what will happen if something isn't done to stop your sister. What kind of life do you think Kate would have if she were taken away from us and put into some kind of home?
That's all I've been thinking about. Maybe this would be the best thing for Kate. Maybe she can get out of this crazy environment and not have to worry about if mom's going to flip out again. She can actually live her life. The thing I'm worried about is what could happen to Kate if something isn't done to stop Mom.
Look, Danny, your mother is a good woman who has devoted her entire life to this family, and that's what you're going to tell Child Services. Unless you'd like to find your own ass tossed out on the street. Am I making myself clear?
Perfectly.
Good. Just as long as you understand.
I understand.
That's them. Do you know what to say? Danny? Danny! Do you know what you're going to say?
I'm going to tell the truth.